Hey guys, Seth here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So, as we all know, the tournament has started for Kyoku, and I have decided that I am going to go for Kyoku. I'll cover the reasons why I want this champion, because it might not be the same for everyone, to be honest. But for me, this is going to be a bit of an interesting take. It's almost like sort of the Chris tournament take two for Hellhades crew, but it probably won't be as big or as hard, hopefully, as that tournament. So yeah, so I'm going for it. I've been placed. I've done a few training things this morning, just boosting up. And what I'm going to cover in this video is why I'm going for it and how I'm going to approach this tournament. Especially considering there's a fusion coming, I've got to make sure that I'm still able to do that. And we have got a lot less time in the Chris tournament. It's only 5 days, so there's kind of less time to strategize. So let's go through first. Why do I want Kyoku? Well, Kyoku is by far, in my opinion, the strongest ally protector in the game. And obviously, ally protection is a unique thing that you need to have in certain clan boss teams. And we saw with Hellhades draft team that we worked on internally at HH team how actually insane this champion is. So we know the main thing that she does, which is unique, is she does the ally protection, but she also places block damage. So what that means is any damage that she receives for 50 turns in Clan Boss, she doesn't take any damage. So just a side note, if you don't understand how ally protection works in Clan Boss and why it's so insane, the Clan Boss has a mechanic that boosts his own damage as like a fury counter or an enrage counter that you typically see in most games. So what that means is I think after turn 19, every 10 turns, he starts increasing his damage and multiplying his damage bit by bit to the point where eventually you can't take the hits anymore. That's the idea. Eventually you're meant to lose before you hit the turn counter. Well, what ally protection does is it cuts in before that multiplier happens, and it goes, okay, I've got 5 people, I'm going to take half of the raw damage, that's the damage that the boss would do just by his calculated multiplier before any multiplication effects takes place, and takes half of it. But it's not half of the damage that the clan boss deals. That damage is then converted to a self-damaging ability, which means it can't be multiplied. So effectively what happens is, in a normal non-ally protection, everyone takes 100% of the damage that the clan boss does. That is then multiplied by his fury mechanic. In an ally protection mode, half of that damage is multiplied by the fury mechanic, but the other half is just given to Kyoku, whomever, as raw damage. And then there's a few little tweaks in there where, you know, if the clan boss crits, then the critical damage is based off the ally protector's critical damage, because it's now coded as a self-damaging ability. Therefore the crit still counts, but it's no longer the clan boss's damage that it counts against, it is the ally protectors. So why is that important to know? Well, obviously we know for the first 50 turns the clan boss can't do damage against block damage. After turn 50, the clan boss has a mechanic that starts ignoring the block damage effect. Well, the on-hit damage is ignored, but the ally protection, because as I said before, is coded as an self-damaging ability once it absorbs 50%, is not coded that way. Therefore, she continues to block 50% of the damage even after turn 50. The only thing that will kill her is the direct damage. So she is by far the best ally protector in Clan Boss, and there are so many different comps that I want to try and use her with. She's a bit tricky to speed tune, but there's so much fun and potential you could have. That is my number one reason why I want her. The other reason is she's a pretty good go second in arena defense, and my arena defense team is good, but I lack a lot of the meta champions. And what I mean by that is, for example, in an arena defense right now, if we were to look at sort of a 3v3, I'll just refresh my window here. So what you typically see is Tormins, you'll typically see Sifis, Kaimars, you will see Necrets are in here somewhere. They've got a Necret. You'll see them. You'll see Valkyries that try to mess with turn meters. You see Hegemons. You see all of these champions, Warlords. These are the champions you typically see on arena defenses. Now, my arena offense is pretty strong, but my arena defense is weak. I do not have a Warlord. I do not have a Kaimar. I do not have a Valkyrie. I do not have a Necret. I don't have Sifi. I don't have Rotus. I don't even have a with it. I basically have quite a poor account when it comes to arena defense. I do have a Candrathon. I do have a Duchess, and I do have a Asuga. So I do have good options. I've got a Trunda, that's great for offense, not really important for defense. I don't have a Torment. I wasn't playing when that fusion was out. So that's the second reason why I'd like her, because she offers me an opportunity to run some annoying defenses, put her in a protection set, those sorts of things. She heals, gives me increased defense, and I think when pairing her with the new fusion could be quite good. To be honest, the new fusion in this champion is quite similar. He does a weaken on anyone and a block damage and an increased defense. They are quite similar. She just has ally protection. So that's number 2. And to be honest, the third reason, I'm a bit of a collector, and I did miss out on the 15 Sacreds because I just pulled Sacreds, and buying her for $200 is probably, in hindsight, cheaper than what this is going to be, but also this is more fun. So those are the 3 main reasons why I want Kyoku. So how am I going to approach this training tournament? So you probably watched Hellhades recently go for Krisk. I don't think this is going to be as crazy as Krisk. And the 2 reasons why: people who were wailing were probably wailing for the guaranteed 15 that happened recently, so they probably already have her, and she's not exactly a champion that you go, I'd love a second one, like Krisk, like Duchess, like Kaimar. Those are the types of champions that you'd want multiple copies of. You may want her for Faction Guardians, but again, you're probably going to Faction Guardian it for, I'd say, Ninja. You're not going to do it maybe for Yumiko if you've got her, maybe for Riho if you've got her, and Kimmy, I suppose. Faction Guardians for Shadowkin, there's 3 really strong champions there: Riho, Lady Kimmy, Yumiko. And then you kind of get into Ninja, obviously. Ninja's OP. Jintoro only for Clan Boss. Then the rest are kind of niche uses. You're not Nobel's just for Ninja. Genzin's alright, but he's mainly there for decreased defense in Faction Wars, and Kyoku for ally protection. So you might find the whale goes for her for a Faction Guardian, but I can't imagine people want to whale training events for a +1 in a Faction Guardian or +1 empowerment. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is she's not void, so she's much more accessible than someone like a Krisk, someone like a Sify if they ever did a guaranteed. So I think you'll probably see, I think that the record in Krisk was like 2.2 million. I think the record will probably be something like 1.5 or maybe 1 million in global. But I think local tournaments, you'll see people win with 20,000, 30,000, maybe 40,000 points, rather than the craziness. So the tournament I've been drafted in, I am currently top at the moment. I kind of put a pause to do some of the daily stuff like Clan Boss, Doom Tower. You should always do those things even during this event. You get lots of free stuff, free energy, free shards, whatnot, especially with the fusion coming up. You can't really, in my opinion, afford to skip Doom Tower dailies. So I'm just doing them, and then I'm going to get back into it. And my goal today is to basically hit 10,000 minimum just to start. So my strategy here is, if I go hard early day 1, will I just scare off everyone? I've had a look, and I've noticed in this tournament, they're groups of 200, not 100. So that is a bit more stressful. Now, what I normally do when I do these tournaments, I kind of look down and I see, am I seeing any clan tags? People like, Mad, ML, the weird little icon, which if I can find it, RC is another one, Envy, that's the weird icon. I'm looking for these types of clan tags, OR, because I know those are where the whales and the sort of active players sit. If I'm seeing just a standard name, I might get unlucky and find a standard name who wants to whale, but typically that's not likely to happen. So I have looked through here, and there are a couple of sort of red flags that I'm a bit concerned about at the moment. Nerit, these are people that haven't actually logged in yet. Mahoney, he's an RC clan. We've got a couple of Tau, Dragonon, hasn't logged in yet. These players might not care. They might care. It depends. There is a ×2 Savage on at the moment as well, which means they might decide to put all their eggs in that basket while that's active and then start whaling on this training tournament. That's another consideration. So I can't really sit here on day 1 and go, oh, I've got this in the bag, because I just don't know what these people are going to do, and there are 200 of them in my group. But I'm going to go for the 10,000, and I would say to most players, go for the 10,000 anyway, because 10,000 for a legendary book, there's some Chaos Ore. I don't know if that's 5 or 6 star. I can never tell with these. 5, that's kind of rubbish. 10,000 for a legendary book is great. There's also some shards of 50 gems that'll help you towards the fusion coming up. So yeah, 100% I would go just for that. And then if you're in a position where you think, oh, my group is not too bad, you can push for the Kyoku. If not, just take your free legendary book essentially, and get ready for the fusion. So that's my strategy today. I'm going to cover this on a daily basis and see where I get to. Hopefully I don't get into a bit of a pickle midway through. one thing I did end up doing in the end, which I wasn't going to do when it first came out, I've bought the Forge Pass. Now, they haven't changed this at all. I've given my thoughts in a previous video about what I thought about the Forge Pass, and clearly it was popular enough that they didn't feel the need to change it, or perhaps they just wanted another month worth of feedback to see whether it was a one-hit wonder or whether what they did before was consistent. I have noticed personally that there are a lot less tags showing up. You know, when we look at the top players, before pretty much all of them had tags. You know, like these players haven't bought it. Some of them have, but you're seeing like is a lot less tags up than there were before. So I actually think people have bought the first one to see what it was like, then realized it wasn't as good as they thought it was maybe, or didn't give them as much as they'd like, and went, do you know what, it's the same thing, I'm not going to bother this time. The reason why I did change my idea is the boost. If I'm going to be doing a lot of training, I want the 50% extra boost, the 50% extra silver. That's going to help me. And the rewards are not terrible. I like Chaos Ore. I like Speed Glyphs. You know, the Forge materials are great for CVC. So they're not terrible. The 5-star glyphs there, that's great. I like that. Wish there was still 6-star. So that's why I kind of bought it in the end. I was like, it's basically 50% extra XP for something I'm going to be doing a lot of training. So it makes sense. I've almost finished my weekly. That'll get me up. Annoyingly, the first week I can't actually get to the 20%. I'm going to be able to get another 12 here. So that's going to take me to level 14, I think. Maybe 15. I'm going to get, what, 2 there, 5. Yeah, so I can't get to the second one this week. I'm going to have to wait for that to come up and then I can crack on. I've just still got 5 to come there and I've got 12 to come there. That should get me 20. So yeah, I should be around about level 14, 15, which is disappointing. Oh yay, another anniversary pack that actually, it's not too bad. Not buying shards right now. We're buying energy, if anything. So, guys, that's the end of the video. I will keep you updated as I go along. My goal today is 10,000 points. I'm going to get into the Doom Tower, finish my dailies, and then just train all day long. How fun and exciting is this going to be? If you've liked this video, please give our channel a like and subscribe. That helps keep us growing the channel and keep bringing you good content. There will be a patch notes video coming out next week when we get the new fusion, the new champions. Because it's obviously a traditional fusion, and anything extra they've put in as normal, as always scheduled every month. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow with an update on my quest to claim the Kyoku.